Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. Well, the saga continues with this story. So now we're going to be talking about the first day of trial. Well, it was the first or second day. First day, I humiliated him with the elevator. A fucking elevator story. These guys couldn't get over it. Oh, so the second day of trial is Beth and I are supposed to testify. Beth's testimonies was expected to take a half a day, but it didn't. It took the whole day. So now this investigation took 4 years. I never, I'm saying, why is it? When is he ever going to get arrested? This fucking prick. So, and of course, finally, we got him indicted and arrested. So now, during this 4-year period, I wanted to see the homicide photographs. You had the crime scene photographs, and then you had the autopsy photographs, which I didn't want to see that because I already knew, but I wanted to see the crime scene photographs to see how someone could do this to another human being, especially a little boy. And at that time, I was the stepfather of a son, Robert Escher's son. So it haunted me. I wanted to see the damn photographs, and he wouldn't do it. So now, after the scene with the elevator, they think I'm crazy, but in a good way. Just fucking think, this guy is off the charts. He's off the charts simply by moving a 10-foot bench and fucking what I did. And when you're a witness like that for any prosecutor in federal court, any court, you have clout. I mean, they're going to do, the district attorney, the police, the agents are going to do whatever, they're going to give you whatever you want. They're going to give you, you got carte blanche, you got the credit card with no limit. Boom, do whatever the fuck you want. So now Dennis Callow was a good man. He had the photographs of those 3 victims on his desk, in life, not in death, in life. And every day for the past 4 years, when he sat down to his desk, said a little prayer, and he watched them as though the victims were an audience, screaming, lock them up, lock them up, lock them up. And Dennis was cool, calm, and collective guy. Very smart guy. I think he's still in practice in Hackensack, New Jersey. But now, let me tell you something. I take my hat off to prosecutors that prosecute homicide cases where children are involved. Because can you imagine the pressure of him getting this right? Now, Molese had a big shot lawyer, and we're going to talk about when I duked it out with that prick. But he's very nervous. He's thinking about what he's got to do to go up there. And here I am breaking his balls. Listen, and I can be a ball breaker. I mean, what Irishman isn't, especially when we had a couple of these in there, but I wasn't drinking. So I said, listen, no, I'm not. So what they do with me, they only think that Beth's testimony is going to last a half a day, and then I'm going to come up and be the big gun. But they wanted to soften up the jury, hearing what I'm about to repeat, hearing what I'm about to corroborate her testimony, sworn testimony, and that's the way he planned his strategy. And so now, where am I going to go? I got to be on call in case she only testifies for 2 hours. Then they got to shoot me in. So where am I going to go? Do they have a professional witness room? No. Dennis parked me in his office. Now, don't forget, Dennis, I, and the other detectives, we had a really tight, we became friends. We weren't going out drinking buddy friends, but, I think they all They all loved me because what I was going to do for them. And so I go, so now I'm in the room and I said, no, I want the thing. And now I'm creating a fuss and he don't want to deal with me because he's got his strat. He don't want to deal with me. All of you defense attorneys out there that are watching this, you know exactly what I'm saying. The pressure's on. Two women were killed and a baby was decapitated. What the fuck? He doesn't want to deal with me. So what does he? He fucking gives me the book. He puts the book down. Book was about this thick. Had, I'm guessing 100 pages, 100 pictures. And he goes, okay, but don't say, this was his last words going out the door. He says, don't say I didn't warn you. Now, for you guys that know about law enforcement and stuff like that, what DA would let an ex-convict in his office with all this personal stuff? I'm in the office. I go, okay. Now I'm too nervous. I'm very nervous. I got to get this right. I know the first thing the defense attorney is going to do is attack my credibility. You're a convicted felon. Isn't it true that you did this and you did that? So before the defense had a chance to do that to me, Dennis told me, I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to bring out your past and all of it, good and bad. And we're going to let the cards fall where they may. Fine. So I get the book. I'm in Dennis's office. I'm looking at all this. I think he was a baseball guy. I'm looking at all this. I'm looking at pages. And I didn't get into the book right away. I'm nervous. I'm watching the binder, like an old loose, like it had the rings, the 3 rings, and the pictures. It was a thick freaking book. It was that. So now I shut my big mouth off, Kevin, tough guy, Kevin. What the fuck am I doing with this? Tough guy, Kevin. So he leaves, and now there's like nothing. It's silent in his office. And I'm staring at the book, and thinking what his last words. Don't say I didn't warn you. Because don't forget, I've been breaking his balls for 4 years. I wanted to see, how could you do that? Huh? And, and let me digress a little bit. Alice was a beautiful woman on the inside, but of course not on the outside. She was a caring, giving, loving, just take care of Bobby. She just, I didn't know, I only saw Marshall once, and I didn't get to know Harold. I didn't see him. And thinking, how can another human being? I mean, it's one thing to take a gun. When you kill somebody with a gun, it's not personal. It's not a personal attack. It's bang, bang, the body drops and you walk away clean. But to take a knife and plunge and cut and sexually molest a woman that took care of you for the last 1.5 years while you were in prison, you prick. Burn in hell, prick. Burn in hell, prick. Burn in hell, prick. How you could do that for money is didn't he think he was going to burn in hell for all eternity after he did that? There's no going to the priest saying, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Just butchered everybody. Fuck it, cut a kid's head off. Give me my absolution because I'm going to be spending that money. Anyway, and so after pacing for about 20 minutes, I'm looking around and I see 3 boxes, like, I guess, like this big. I get like this big, 3. One over the other, stacked up, and it says New Jersey State Police evidence. And then I see a broken cane, which was Marshall's. So anyway, I get behind his desk, and I'm sitting at his desk, and I open it up. And I'm not going to describe what I see, but I will say this. When you cut somebody's jugular, there's so much pressure that it was all ceiling, floor, windows. It looked like a bomb went off inside somebody's body. First, I saw Alice's photographs. Then I saw the babies. And I only got to like the third page and I couldn't go no more. So I kept going through that. And then I got to Marsha. Don't forget, he killed Alice and Harold first, and then he had to lay in wait 3 hours for Marsha to come in because he had to do all three of them to get the money, all three in policy. And I see hers. She wasn't too bad, but Alice was bad. And the baby, I mean, I think I looked at the pictures all 3 seconds. And then I see in the picture of Marsha a stick. It looked like a stick. I go, what the fuck is a stick doing in the house? And she had a walker because she was obese too. And she broke it over his fucking head or hit him with something. I don't fucking, it was broken. So Dennis's desk was against the wall. The door was straight ahead. It wasn't that big of an office. And to the left were those 3 stacked boxes of New Jersey State Police evidence boxes. And I look over. I didn't think, nor did I have permission to do that. But don't forget, now I'm in this fucking thing for hours, this office. So I look at the photograph and I see this, what I think is a stick. And then I look over in the pile of those 3 boxes and I see it's not a stick, it's a cane. And there it is. There's the cane propped up against those 3 boxes. So what the fuck could be in them? Took the top one off, opened it up, and it was all 3 of the victim's clothing. And the first one I opened up, now Harold had a striped shirt, t-shirt on. He wore his underwear, his socks, and I don't know if his shoes were in it, and his pants. So the first thing I pick up is his shirt, his t-shirt. And this is 4 years after the fact. And the smell I'll never forget of dried blood and fabric. And you could almost stand it up. It was completely drenched in his blood. And then I picked up his underwear. Same thing, his pants. Wow. I didn't need to be motivated that much. I didn't even suspect that. And I don't think Dennis, if he watches this, did you know I did that? No, I didn't. But hey, they'll say curiosity killed the cat, and the freaking box was 10 feet away from me. What the fuck is in there? Shouldn't have left me in the office, Dennis. Fucking wizard. And you were right, Dennis. I shouldn't have seen the photographs. But man, was I fucking pumped. Oh, I was so fucking pumped. I was biting at the bit to get into that fucking thing. And when I get into the court, I almost went to prison. I pissed this judge off. They were calling mistrials and fucking wait till you see when I get to that story. So now I was fucking crying, I guess. So they all come back, all the detectives. Now the detectives weren't allowed to be in the courtroom at the time of the testimony because they were going to testify too. So, but all the cops wanted to be in the hallway. They all wanted to be in the hallway and they all congregated talking about the 4-year investigation that they just did and wondering, is it going to be successful? Is my testimony going to be good enough? Because basically all they had was my testimony, that's what they had. Me and Beth. Beth corroborated my testimony and vice versa. And it was enough because he did get convicted. So now Now the torture continues for Kevin. They finally come back. They finally break for lunch. And everybody, the door opens up and I'm fucked up. And I'm sitting at Dennis's desk. He comes in with the book and he takes one look at me and says, I told you. I told you. I didn't even say a word, but he knew. I told him. But he didn't know. I opened the boxes. I opened up all 3 boxes, had all 3 victims' clothing in it, and of course the cane. And I said, good, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Are we ready? Let's go to lunch, and I'm ready. They went, no. The defense attorney's being a prick. He's hammering her bad. And I said, are you okay, Beth? And fucking Beth was like, because don't forget, let's look at the perspective from Beth. She knew damn well that if she didn't get out of that house, that it would have been her and Bobby that got murdered. And I asked her, after I found out all the facts, I said, would you have fallen for that okey doke, letting Brian insure you? And let me make a little correction. Okay, let me make a correction on my last video. I said that he was the beneficiary, and that was incorrect. Marcia made him the executive of Harold's estate should anything happen to Marcia. So he was the executive of the estate from Marcia. Now, if Marcia and Harold were to die, then he automatically becomes the beneficiary of the policy. So I want to make that little correction. Executor and beneficiary are 2 different things. So, but usually they can be the same, one and the same. So I just want to clarify that. So now I'm pumped up. Let's go, Dennis. Let's go. I'm ready, ripping and roaring to get on that fucking stand. And he goes, no, she's got to come back. You're not going to go until tomorrow. I don't think you're going to go tomorrow, but you have to stay. You have to stay on call. It's called on call. I have to be able to grab you within 15 minutes. Okay, so fucking, he didn't know I looked at the box. He didn't know that. And yeah, you were right. It haunted me. It haunted me for a long time. But you know, for every tragedy in life, you know, it's been my experience that there's always some sort of good that can come from it. When children get murdered by these kind of fucking animals, like the Megan law, they put legislature in and they create laws to protect our children. So I didn't know what good was ever going to come out of this. But the satisfaction of me pointing this finger at that fucking prick when Dennis said, is he in court? Yeah, can you point him out and tell me what he's wearing? And boy, like a fucking gun. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I almost went to jail. And okay, I almost went to jail to this tough, no nonsense judge. So, so those are the 2 stories. One story with the bench was pretty funny. This story was not. But I don't think anybody in any kind of homicide investigation as a witness or an informant, whatever you want to call me, was trusted this much to be parked in the prosecutor's desk. You know, that's what he thought of me. You know, he says, you stay in my office, I'm just be on call. God bless you and Frank Del Preti and Dominic, the other guy. I forget the rest of the guys' names. And so now we come back the next day and I am going to be on trial. I mean, I'm going to be I'm not on trial, he's on trial. And I'm going to talk to you about the judge that was trying this case was the top justice of Bergen County. He was the #1 boss of all this Superior Court judge. In fact, that year, he was running for governor of the state of California. He was an Italian guy, And he was no fucking nonsense. And Dennis would say, hey, what, don't say anything stupid because this judge is no nonsense. And I believe it to this day, but he put up with more of my nonsense. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so on the next video, which I'm going to do right after this one, but I don't want to make it too long because then you guys with low attentions, you don't watch the whole fucking thing. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about the trial. And then, no, in the next video, should I do the trial? No, I'm not going to do the trial because I'm trying to do it in chronological order. So we're going to talk about what happened in court, and then we're going to be talking about the insurance policy. Now, Brian Molese becomes the beneficiary of the Frering, I think their name was, Marsha Frering. When the both of them die, he's now the beneficiary. So the first thing Frank Del Prete did when he heard my testimony, when he first met me and he heard the story, he got on the fucking phone and he called the insurance company and said, do not pay that claim. We think the beneficiary is, in fact, the murderer. And the insurance company goes, oh, fuck yeah, we're not going to pay that fucking claim if you say so. So there was a hold on the payout for that. So let's just leave it right there. No, I'm not going to leave it right there. See the way these stories keeps going in different directions? So now, let me tell you. So who the fuck is? Alice had no relatives, nobody in her life. So I don't know what happened to that claim. Let's talk about the other claim where he really is the benefit. Now he became the beneficiary. Let's talk about that claim. Well, I'll give you a spoiler. He never got the money. They denied the claim. They didn't deny it. They just was telling him, we're not gonna sign that check until you're cleared of all wrongdoings in this murder. That's what they told him. So now, who the fuck is the rightful beneficiary of Harold and Marsha's estate? Well, there's only one person, and that's her father. Remember that? Marsha wouldn't talk to her father because he was a prick. And we're going to talk about what a kind of a prick he turned out to be in our next video. Like, subscribe, please. If you don't do it for me, do it for your own conscience. How can you watch this friggin' thing and not even push the fucking button? That's what I don't understand. I do it for you. See you guys on the next one.